We've actually made 5 business units inside the business. In the beginning, the business was quite small. We had, in Topcon America, when I joined back in '93, there was like 25 people. And we grew just this group to 900 people over the last 10, 12 years. So it grew quite fast. And what happens is, while there's tremendous synergy in the technologies, there's sometimes you can lose a little bit of focus on the particular market needs that you're serving. So we've divided the company into 5 business units. Survey is the number one. That's what Topcon is most famous for, and the recent acquisition of Sokkia. Between Topcon and Sokkia, we're the largest supplier of survey instruments in the world. The second leg in the business is the construction market, which is machine control and laser instruments, and I think you've seen a huge growth in the machine control business, especially in the last 7, 8 years. The third one is our agricultural business unit. The agricultural business uses the same technology, but for a very specific application in ag. The fourth one is emerging markets. And the emerging markets, and you've written several articles in your magazines about the new mapping systems that go on vehicles for doing high precision mapping. That's a fast-growing business for us. And we have GIS and networks in that business because it's all interrelated, to be perfectly honest. And we see that as a growth business, so it has different dynamics and needs a different focus. And the fifth one is our telematics business unit. When we originally broke up into business units, we had survey, construction, machine control all into one business unit. And what we came to recognize very quickly was we didn't have the laser focus, is probably the best way to describe it, for the specific needs of the surveyors. We were grouping it all together, and it's not the same. Surveying, cadastral surveying, as-built surveys are done, in a large part by surveyors that need products in order to increase their productivity and cut their costs, and it should be focused on that. And I need a team of people that are experts in that field to do that, and that's why we created the survey business unit. I'm very excited about surveying. I hear a lot of people talk about, surveying's a dying trade, it's not as needed anymore. I would say to you that surveying is a growing trade, and that the expertise in the surveying business is required because, as you see, the best example is whether you look at Google Earth or Google Maps, the ability to manage assets is becoming more and more important, and the progressive people in the engineering survey business that stay abreast of those developments and start investing will get the jobs to do all of that, whether it's for a municipality, a city, a DOT, or what have you. The expansion in that business is going to be astronomical because we need highways that are operating 100% of the time. There's no potholes, there's no repairs because they manage it because they have all that information done in real time, and that wasn't available before. To take an optical total station and go out and survey a highway and give you all the points and all the information you need, would take months if not years. And today you're doing it at 60 miles an hour flying down a highway. It's really changed, and I think it's the responsibility of the industry, the magazines, of course, the associations, and the manufacturers to make sure that we're educating the people that are coming up in that field. And you'll see we have an educational partnership program that is very focused on all the different universities that are educating these kids that are coming up into this field to make them aware of where that future is going to be. Topcon and Sokkia is 2 completely distinct brands and have been. Sokkia is 85 years old, Topcon 77 years old, so they have a very, very long history in the business and have very loyal customers. The Sokkia brand is an unbelievable brand name, and in some parts of the world dominate the market. You can imagine with a combination of Sokkia and Topcon that there's a huge amount of engineering resources for that group, and it's very focused. It's the largest group of engineers in the whole company. We have the opportunity to take engineering resources and stop duplicating things that both companies were doing to compete, and free up engineering resources to work on some of these newfangled ideas and devices that are revolutionary in the business, and continue to make those Sokkia and Topcon instruments that'll be hopefully lower cost, higher accuracy, longer distances and ranges, that will meet the mainstream of the market and get that big group of engineers over to working on new generation products. So all those are real positives in the synergistic effect of the company.